So as part of your assignment, you'll be doing research. And when you're doing research, we require you to always reference sources of information that you use as part of your assignment. So on the screen here, we've got a couple screenshots from the Brisbane SDE Writing Guide. So if you want to find the writing guide, go to a web browser. I'll just shrink this down so it fits in my, there we go. So go to the Brisbane. So if you're looking for more detailed information on referencing, for example, you want to reference a video or something like that, if you go to the Distance Ed website and type in the writing guide, this is the quick way, this is the way I find it, and here it is here. So you should have a copy of this. So download that. There's the writing guide. And to find the reference section, it's towards the end of the document. So I'll just scan down. It's about page 32, I think. Just keep going. So there's lots of useful information in here. Okay, we're up to referencing. With referencing, there's two parts to it. The only part we're actually using, we're not going to use the what they call the in-text citation. So if you're writing an essay and you're referring to, if you're using some information in the body of your text, you'd include what's called an in-text reference, which is, you see this like the name of the author and the year in little brackets within the text. We're not doing that here, okay? All we're expecting you to do is to do a reference list, and here's the reference list in the writing guide. Now you notice the reference list, each reference actually, the first part gives the name of the authors, and these are given in alphabetical order. So the first author there is Gates, Hopper, something like that, procon.org, so that's just the name of a website. So in this case, this page, there's no author, it's just the name of the website's given instead, and so on. So these are in alphabetical order. So now I'm just going to demonstrate quickly how to do a reference. So let's just go through, I'll just scroll down the page. This is in your writing guide. Now, most of your sources are probably going to be web addresses, but if you do use a book like from a library, please have a look at this section here on books. I'll just go down, scroll down. Eventually we'll find somewhere, there's journals, journal articles and periodicals. Keep going down. Okay, online materials. This is most likely the materials you'll be referencing, a document on the internet. And if we come over here, this first part is the format we're following. And what I might, so in your reference list, oops, what happened there? Okay, I've got it back. So I'm going to go to a website, and I've got this site here. This is shows a cooking website. So this is a recipe: flourless chocolate brownies with hot chocolate sauce by Nigella. So what we need to do is we need to work out the author's name. Now this particular page doesn't give the full author's name, it just gives her first name, but her name is actually Nigella Lawson. Okay, so when you go to your slide, let's go to a new page. The first thing you're going to do is give the author's surname, comma, and the initial, their first name. So that's the first part, Lawson, comma, N for Nigella, full stop. Next step, in brackets, we give the year or the date this is published. Now if you look down here, it actually says 2007, so this looks like it comes from a book that was published in 2007. So I'm going to take that as my date. If there is no date given, then you put ND. So I might write that in another line. Okay, so we've now finished the year it was published section, and now close the bracket and put a full stop. This is all procedural, you just follow steps. There's no thinking involved once you know how to do it. Next step, you give the title. So this was called Flourless Chocolate Brownies with Hot Chocolate Sauce. So let's type that, Flourless brownies, chocolate, brownies, I'm starting to get hungry, with hot chocolate sauce, full stop. So that's it, pretty straight, pretty simple, hey? And then the final step, because this is a website, we actually give the web address and the date that you access this. So to do this, we type the word retrieved, give the date, March 5th, let's say, 2019. From, you write the word from, and then you go to your web page and you go up the top here and copy that web address. Simple as that. Copy, and we paste that, and that's it. That's a web address. Sorry, that's the reference. Okay, so author, surname, comma, initial. If the author is an organisation, like a government department, just give the name of the government department or the group that's publishing it. Next, the year. If there's no year, let's say this page, I'll just do one if you had no author. If you've got no author, it's not obvious who wrote the page, then I'd be a bit worried about the credibility of the site. But anyway, if there's no author, then, so here's a few variations. What you do is you just take the name of the title, just cut that, and you put that instead of the author. Okay, so no author, we just put something like that. Okay, in this case we did have an author. If there's no date, no published date, there's no published date, then again what you do, I'll just copy this. In the brackets you just put N full stop, D full stop, which is short for, actually might be no full stop. Second one, no date. Okay, so that's all you got to do there if you have no date. So pretty straightforward stuff. Again, this will contribute to your collaborating and managing the project, because under that we talk about your project's documentation. So we would expect some references. We're not expecting a lot, but we expect references, and we expect you to use the correct format. And in this case, you're following the format in the Brisbane SDE writing guide.